Hey, welcome. So this is the time, the video I wanted to do like all of my life. My little memorial to these old games I used to play on the PlayStation 1. I usually describe myself as part of the PC master race and I don't understand why people buy consoles anymore. But back in the day, I actually started gaming on a PlayStation 1. Gaming. So I decided to make a top 10 list of my old PS1 games, but I couldn't resist to include some more. So welcome to my top 12 list of PlayStation 1 games. Also, please keep in mind that there are no possible way to make a top 10 list that's accepted by everyone. 12 list. Also, back in the day, you played what you could get. You didn't have access to every single game on the market. Hell, there wasn't even internet back then. So I didn't even know what kind of games were out there. So yes, please keep in mind, this is my top list from the games I had. I don't know how many games were released for the PS1. I had around 100 of them. Also, this whole video needs a bit of a context, so let me explain. I was around 7 to 10 years old. I couldn't understand any English. I couldn't understand games as a concept, really. Like, imagine, games were not a common thing for us. Understanding the whole concept of everything about the game, menus, loadings, CDs, all that stuff, it was a lot to process. So, the rank list you are going to see is based on my old memories, how much I enjoyed these games as a kid, because there are going to be some strange rankings, because you know, I was a kid. At the end of the video, I'm going to reorient this list based on my current self's opinions. So I actually downloaded every single one of these games, and what you are going to see now, it's actually going to be me playing it. So the 12th game on my list is a Need for Speed game. It's V-Rally 2, released in 1999. The biggest surprise about this game is that it is a Need for Speed game, and what the fuck, I didn't even know that. I just looked it up, like when I was researching this video. You will see this arcade-ish style in these games more often, and I don't mean the handling or stuff like that, but the menus and also how the races are set up. I guess they were planning these games for arcade machines. So there's a timer counting back and you have to collect checkpoints, and the more checkpoints you collect, the more time you have. I really liked this game back then. It's even more amazing today, to be honest, because this game looks surprisingly good. In my opinion, it had amazing graphics and the physics was really fun. Driving physics in this game puts even some modern games to shame, even Need for Speeds. It's not realistic, it's not accurate, but it's fun, and I think that's what game's supposed to be. And for some reason the Ford Focus icon was much bigger than any other icon. '11th place from 1998. It's Rallycross 2, and it didn't have an intro. So Rallycross 2 was appealing for me back then, probably because of its interesting map designs, the obstacles and the stupid AI. It is chaotic and fun, but we have to say, this is one of the worst looking games on this list. Just look at those pixels. Also, this game is hard. Like, the AI was very fast. I remember being unable to beat them back then, and it even challenges me today. I vividly remember the moment when the game froze. I restarted my PlayStation and it just wouldn't start up anymore. I don't know why, maybe the CD got scratched or something. I was so sad. the game would not load into the menu anymore. And slowly I forgot the name of this game. I thought I'm never going to see it again. But when I was collecting games for this video, I actually found the ROM and I recognized it from the PS1 ROMs page. So I'm glad I could include this on my list. 10th place from 1999 again. Panzer Front. Oh boy. If I had to describe this game, it would be ahead of its time, whatever that's supposed to mean. So Panzer Front is a hardcore tank simulator as much as it can be, with the PS1's limitations. I don't think there is a similar game even today. The amount of tanks you can drive, the amount of maps and fights you can play. Also the detail in this game it's astonishing. The fact that it has this real-time strategy element. There's no other game like this. I will definitely reposition this at the end of this video because this game is just unbelievable. I couldn't understand like 90% of it back then. To be honest, this game deserves a video on its own and I don't want this video to be 2 hours long, so I'm not going to go too deep into the details. As I said, this game has quite a lot of tanks, but only a couple of them have scenarios. The rest can be played in custom games. The fun part is, and why this game is so much different, is because you can command your allies. You're not only playing scripted scenarios, you have a squad you can control, and this gives the game amazing replayability. On top of this, the game features a basic armor mechanic. Well, I don't exactly know how detailed it is, but it's not just shooting at tanks randomly. Just like in War Thunder or World of Tanks, bad angles and thick armor can bounce your shells. Oh yeah, and just like the way you can one-shot the enemy, they can one-shot you as well if you show them your side or back. So yeah, the game is not easy. Ninth place, Rally Masters, another rally game. How surprising. I think it's not because I was a huge rally fan, but rather anything that needed deeper understanding was unplayable for me. So going around the track was simple enough. What can I say? Rally Masters is just a regular rally game. I remember loving it as a kid, and here's the twist. I love this game because for me it was filled with bugs. I remember glitching out of the map, AI getting stuck, spinning in one place for no reason, collisions being incorrect, and so on. It was interesting, I guess. Sadly, I couldn't reproduce these on this version, and I also didn't have too much time to keep on trying, but I can show you this. The AI used to get stuck here. As you can see, it's spinning off the track, and it resets itself on this version, but back then it didn't do it. My CD of this game was really damaged. That might have been the cause of the bugs. Yeah, I could only play certain tracks, like literally most of them were broken. The CD was so damaged if I tried to load, like I could play like 6 maps in the whole game, and that's it. If I tried to load any other track, the game will just freeze. Eighth place, Hydro Thunder, or the game where the guy keeps shouting at you. Remember when I said Rallycross has bad graphics? Sadly, Hydro Thunder has it even worse. It's not unplayable, but, well, judge on your own. The problem is, this game heavily relies on you finding shortcuts. And that is very hard if you can't see them. They are designed to be hard to notice, but the PlayStation 1's pixelated, distorted graphics makes it even worse. Side note, the actual arcade machine version looks really nice. Back then, I couldn't understand how this game worked, so that's why it's so down on the list. So I enjoyed it without even understanding it, but if you do understand the game, learn the shortcuts, use hydro jump, it is amazing. I'm sure that this one is many people's favorite from this list. Learning the shortcuts and learning how to use the hydro jump mechanic is kind of the progression of the game, and I'm sure that many people, especially modern gamers, will not like this. But I do miss games like this. And it's not only the campaign, but when did you last see a game where you jumped off a waterfall with a speedboat, or jumped through a volcano just to fill your booster, or where the spectator boat started racing you? They didn't give much shit about realism back then, and that just makes the game even more fun. Seventh place, Thunder Tanks.
The following is a presentation of the World Destruction League Network, the leader in global mayhem. WDL presents Friday Night Thunder Tanks, where every night's a fight for survival. And now, live from New York, the city so nice, they bombed it twice.
I remember my dad asking me, why am I playing this shitty game? I remember playing this shitty game a lot. It's an arcade tank shooter with dodgy controls and multiple game modes. Yeah, back then when we used to have game modes. Anyway, I guess I enjoyed defending the flag in CTF mode, but looking back, this game was not any special. The AI was like super bad. Back then I was like, I guess, what special evil plan is my enemy thinking about? He hasn't come out of his base in a long time. He's probably preparing for something. And when I went to check what he was doing, he was stuck in the fence. Or just couldn't figure out the way from his own base. This game is also very chaotic, especially if you enable drone tanks just to have something to shoot at. It doesn't look very good either, but I guess it's okay for the PlayStation 1 standards. Anyway, this brings us to the end of the second half of my list. I didn't want to do all games in one video, because I wanted to say a couple of sentences about all of them. Some of them deserve their own videos, like Panzer Front, so I might do a video about them. Depends on how this video performs and how many people are interested in it. So I will continue with the top 6 sometime in the future. I'm not sure when. This video took me 2 months to make, so eventually. I hope you enjoyed this video and found some of your childhood games in it. If not, I'm sure you will find one in the next one.